So I've got the bike here. I've got it washed up finally, and it actually cleaned up really well. It cleaned up super well. So I mean, the wheels cleaned up nice. Need a little bit of polish on them. Just go over here, and where all that oil was, I was able to get it all cleaned up. Looks really good. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I tried to wash it at home, but I don't have my pressure washer working right now, so I had to take it to the car wash and finish it off there. But I mean, overall the bike turned out super clean, so I'm pretty happy with it. So right now what I'm going to do is gonna start tearing it down a little bit. Now that it's all cleaned up, I'm going to start with my first issue, which is the leaking countershaft seal. So it's right behind that front sprocket there, and then in doing so I'm going to remove the chain. I'm going to remove the chain guide on the bottom there, because I'm going to get a primary drive one to replace that, and I'll remove the countershaft sprocket, and we'll be able to get back in there and kind of see that. So I'm going to try to do this full kind of revival or rebuild without taking the motor out and really going clear down to the frame, because I want to do that this winter. I really want to take this bike and clean it up really nice and turn it into basically a brand new setup. So, but in order to get it on the track this year, I need to kind of prioritize the certain things that it needs and get it in running condition, so at least I can tear it up this summer. So anyways, first things first, we'll take this case cover off, or this sprocket cover off right here, and that'll expose this case saver. We'll take it off, and then we'll bust the chain loose and go from there. Okay, so we're gonna take off this countershaft sprocket cover. So it's held on by 2 bolts, and these are a number, what is it, number 1 Phillips? Oh, number 3 Phillips. So make sure you got the right bit. It's the big Phillips bit. Hopefully I don't have to use an impact driver to get these off. Oh yeah, it's tight. So this is the impact driver. So you put it on your bolt, and then you hit the end of it, and when you hit it, it actually spins on it and will kind of, I don't know what you call it. This will rotate the opposite way, and it will break the bolt free. So I'll show you right here. No, a little bit more. There we go, just like that. I think I got this one off Amazon for like 25 bucks or something like that. Fairly cheap for getting these bolts off. Okay, so when I pulled that off, you can see right here is the actual case saver. So this goes up against the case, and what it does is, if the chain ever breaks or comes off, it will hit this before it hits where this clutch lever is here. So it won't tear up and eat up your case, because that's really expensive to do, and you know, you've obviously got to do a full bottom end if you do that. So that lock washer just has, it's just folded over. You just have to flatten it out just so you can get the nut off. Sometimes it can be kind of a pain, but I always replace this. So like when I get my new countershaft sprocket, I'll put a new lock washer on it. Put it in gear here. I'm gonna have to get a smaller screwdriver for that one. Let's see if I can get this down here now. There we go. Let's get started. It's a lot easier.
It doesn't have to be all the way out. Just enough you can get a socket on there to break it free.
Okay, so that's done. So now, to get that nut off, the best way that I found to do it is to put your socket on, put your wrench on, hop on the bike and hold the rear brake and just use your leverage you have from standing on the bike and just break it free, because it's gonna want to spin. It's gonna want to spin. So, and I don't like to put the bind on the engine by putting it in gear. That's just me. I'm sure it works just fine, but I just don't like the idea. So anyway, that's how I do it. I'd rather put the pressure on the brake itself. Get it neutral here. There it is. There it is, 27 millimeter. Okay, so hop up on the bike, hold the rear brake, and then just, there it is, just like that. Not hard at all. Okay, that's it. Okay, pull that washer off. And I mean, you can see how chewed up that thing is. I'm just gonna chuck it in the garbage, buy a new one. Don't even wanna mess with that kind of stuff. Okay, so we could, right now, take that countershaft sprocket off, but I'm gonna leave it on for just a minute until I get the chain off. Then I'll just slide that baby right off. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to find the master link, take it off right there, which there's the master link. Get you guys closer so you can see that. So there's the master link right there. You can see it slides on one way. It's got a split in it, and they make a sweet set of pliers, which I actually have right here. Tusk makes these. Yeah, these are Tusk Pliers. So what they have is you got a groove in the pliers right there, where you can put the pliers. So when you put it on, you can see how the groove will go over the master link right there, and then the shorter side goes up against the actual chain link. It also helps for getting it off. You just flip it around, do it the other way, press it, and pop, just like that. Now that thing's ready to come off. There's or anything like that, and there it is, popped right off. So now we can just grab that link, pull it off, just like that. Grab the master link, pull it off, and look at that, chain fell right off. Pretty easy. And I'll just pull it on through. Just like that, chain's off. And that thing's trash. So now that the chain's off, you can see the entire sprocket, and it's a little bit, well, it's pretty wore out actually. These teeth are starting to get really steep. A new sprocket will have rounded teeth on it, more like the countershaft sprocket does. And so now, just slide the countershaft sprocket off. And you notice this countershaft sprocket has a recessed side. That side always goes in towards the bike, at least on this model. So anyway, now that that's off, the countershaft seal is exposed. Once you get this retaining plate off, it's just two 8mm bolts. Pull that retaining plate off, and then you have complete access to the countershaft seal. So I've got it ordered and on the way, and once I get it, I'll go about yanking that baby off and putting the new one in. Okay, so I'm like super picky about maintaining a good workspace. So, you know, like that, I mean, that's trash. That, case saver, the bolts, that I like to put them in these little buckets, like little cottage cheese buckets or yogurt or something like that, just to kind of keep all my parts in. I mean, I know where they all go, but yeah, I just like to keep that kind of stuff. So put this link and master link in there. You can never have too many of them. Yeah, so this is kind of scattered, but what I'm going to do now is take off the plastics and get it prepared. Kind of expose the subframe and everything like that, because I don't really want to take the seal out of the motor until I get the seal, so I can just replace it. And I still haven't drained the oil or anything like that yet, but real quick, we'll pull the seat off, We'll pull the number plates off. We'll pull the radiator shroud plastics off, and then we'll go from there.
Let me see. Slide it back. Pop right off. That's it. Okay, 8mm. Right there. There's the number plate. Just 8mm around the back. There's the number plate.
Poor girl got no rear end there. Okay, next we'll do the radiator shrouds.
Yeah, I'm kind of winging it here, hoping that these just come right out. They're back there, no. It's just... Oh, okay, that one came out. Please, come out, please, come out, please. Kind of pop it on it a little bit. Oh, okay, that one came out too. This one will come right out. On top, right, you need to say, oh, it popped right out. Okay, easy peasy. Okay, and I just put it off, so... Wait, on the other side. Oh. Can you go back in with them? Oh, jeez. Alright, they all came out, that's all that matters.
Well, I think that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys liked that. Hope you learned a little something. I mean, that's just basic plastics, and it's super fast, super quick to do. I usually like to take my bike down to this if I'm doing like a deep clean. If I don't, do like a valve adjustment or something like that, where I can get in and clean the spaces out. It works super well because you get mud in places that you can't see behind them plastics, but I mean, overall, this bike's pretty much clean. So, more to come soon. If you like this video, just subscribe, give it a like, and catch you guys next time. Bye-bye. See you later.